this video is on basic setup and instruction of your Cuckoo clock. First off, you want to make sure you have a nice secure fastener in the wall. I would recommend a screw that is solid because you will be pulling on the chains and winding it up. You do not want that falling off the wall. So to start off with, I'm going to be demonstrating with a 1 day, which is the smaller weights, 3 weight, which means it's musical, Cuckoo clock. So before you do anything with the chains, you want to make sure you're hanging on the wall, like so. From here, then you can unwrap the chains. And a good height is about where they're just barely touching the ground, or right about 6 feet or so. Any shorter and it will decrease the length of time that your clock will run. At this point, you want to hang your pendulum on, which goes on the little hanger right here, which is called the pendulum leader. At this point, you can hang the 3 weights, which go on the hooks. Like so. With a 1 day clock, you will need to wind the clock approximately once a day. That is done by pulling on the chain opposite the weight. Over a 1 day period, each of the weights are going to come down, and if you don't wind it, they will hit the floor. So about once a day, you'll pull on the chain to wind those up, and you can wind those up till it stops underneath the clock. So from this point, we can get the pendulum swinging. And a crucial part of Cuckoo clocks is the beat adjustment. Now you want it looking level on the wall, but more importantly, you want to listen to the clock and listen to the tick-tock sound and make sure it has a nice even beat sound. For instance, if I slide it over here and you listen to it, you will notice that the ticking sound is slightly off beat. If I adjust the bottom of the clock slightly to one direction or the other, I'm looking for a nice even metronome tick-tock sound. This helps the clock run at its best function. Okay, to run the clock, you have a minute hand, which is the longer hand, and an hour hand, which is the shorter one. To set the time, you're just going to use the minute hand. And this instruction is for most modern day Cuckoo clocks. You can just move the minute hand and you can go forwards or backwards to set the time. Couple of things, if you are not getting a cuckoo sound, when you turn the hands to the half hour or the hour, there is a lever, typically a lever over here that sometimes can come over the door. If that is engaged, the door will not open and it will not cuckoo. If I release that lever, it then will go off. Also, if you look on the side of the clock, there is an on and off lever here as well. Sometimes this lever is also underneath the clock with a pull up and down typically on the left side as you face the clock. You should always get 1 cuckoo on the half hour and the number of hours on the hour. So I should get 3 cuckoos at 3 o'clock. And you can notice my weights are already starting to come down. If you need to adjust the speed of the clock, let's say after a day you notice that the clock is 3 or 4 minutes fast or slow. The regulating of the Cuckoo clock is done on the pendulum, and on this one it is a leaf. If I push the leaf up, it speeds the clock up. If I pull the leaf down on the stick, it slows the clock down. It takes very little movement, maybe a millimeter or two to adjust it a minute or two a day. So very little movement adjusts the speed of the clock. If I do not have the pendulum on, it'll actually run really fast. I believe that covers most of the basic instructions on the function of a cuckoo clock. This also applies to 2-way cuckoo clocks and 8-day cuckoo clocks that are within the last 50 years or so. Thank you for joining us on this instruction video, and have a great day.